Hey everyone and welcome to the HashiCorp Certified Terraform Associate Certification based video course. I am Zeel and I am going to be your instructor throughout the course. Now Terraform is one of the most popular infrastructure as a code tools that are available right now. Now one of the primary benefits that Terraform offers over other infrastructure as a code tool is that it is platform independent. So it supports wide range of providers, be it AWS, be it Azure, be it Google Cloud, DigitalOcean and others. And primarily because of this compatibility, Terraform is one of the very popular tools specifically into the area of DevOps. Now I have been working since a long time, and in almost all the organizations that I have been working with, they have either started to use Terraform or they have started to migrate to Terraform from other infrastructure as code tools. Now, because of so much popularity that Terraform is gaining in the market, HashiCorp has decided to officially launch a Terraform certification. So the HashiCorp Certified Terraform Associate provides a strong fundamental knowledge about Terraform. So this certification is intended for individuals who are beginning their journey into Terraform and needs to gain a strong fundamental knowledge in Terraform. Now, discussing about what this course covers, we begin our journey from absolute scratch of Terraform and then we move ahead with the advanced topics. So these are the high level sections that we have as part of the course. Now, among all of these, one of the most popular and most liked section is the exam preparation section. So once we have done with our learning of Terraform, then we also discuss in great detail about the certification and also into some of the important pointers as part of the certification exam. So let's look into some of the frequently asked questions here. First one is, will things be taught from basic in this course? And the answer is absolutely. We start our journey from the absolute basics of Terraform, after which we dive into the advanced topics. Second is, will this help me for the certification? And the answer is definitely. This course is in tune with the official certification and it will help you more than the certification aspect, and that is the real world scenarios. Third is, will it be boring to learn? And the answer is not really. Everything that we do is explained in a practical way with some humor all around. So that's the high level overview about what this course is all about. I'm pretty excited for this course and I look forward to see you aboard. Hey everyone and welcome back. Now in today's video we'll be discussing about various infrastructure as code tools that are available in the market and how we can select the right one for our organization. Now in the industry, there are a lot of tools that will allow you to deploy the infrastructure as code. So you have tools like Terraform, you have CloudFormation, Heat, Ansible, you also have SaltStack, Chef, Puppet and others. Now, although some of the primary responsibility of tools like Ansible is configuration management, but they can also be used to create the infrastructure. In fact, in one of the organizations that I have been working with a long time back, we used to create the infrastructure in AWS primarily with the Ansible. Now, in this process, it is important for us to understand the primary difference between the configuration management and the infrastructure orchestration. Now, when you discuss about tools like Ansible, Chef, Puppet, these are primarily the configuration management tools, which means that they are primarily designed to install and manage the software on the existing servers that are present. Now, as opposed to that, you have a dedicated infrastructure orchestration tools like Terraform, CloudFormation. So these basically allows you to provision the infrastructure like servers, services and others solely by themselves. Now do remember that configuration management tools can do some degree of infrastructure provisioning, but the focus here is to look into the tools that are going to be a better fit for a certain type of tasks. Now, in fact, let me quickly show you this. So this is basically the Ansible documentation, and this documentation is on how you can go ahead and work with the EC2 instance, like how you can launch a EC2 instance in AWS, how you can terminate EC2 instance in AWS and so on. So you see that there are a lot of options that are available in Ansible to manage the infrastructure like EC2 instances and so on. Now, in fact, some of the parameters like count that is available in Ansible, you will see the similar one in Terraform, which does the similar purpose. So a lot of things remains to be very similar if you have used Ansible for infrastructure provisioning. Anyways, if you have not used that, it is fine because we'll learn it from scratch. Great. So one important learning from this specific slide is that if you have a dedicated configuration management tool like Ansible, just keep it for the configuration management purpose. Avoid doing multiple things that it is not primarily designed to do. So if Ansible is primarily designed for configuration management, just keep it for a configuration management. Terraform, on the other hand, it is primarily designed for infrastructure orchestration. So you can use Terraform primarily for that. Now, one great news is that the infrastructure as code and configuration management tools are friends. So let's go ahead and understand it. So on the left hand side, you have a Terraform configuration which creates a new EC2 instance in AWS. So once you apply it via the Terraform, Terraform will interact with the backend provider. In this case, it is AWS, to create the new EC2 instance. Now, depending upon that, a new EC2 instance will be created. And once it is created, the message is returned back to the Terraform. So here the message is returned stating that the EC2 instance is running. Now, Terraform integrates well with the configuration management tools like Ansible. So let's assume that you also have an Ansible which is running within your stack. So once the EC2 instance is running, Terraform can call the Ansible to go ahead and install and configure the application. So once the Ansible receives this message, it can go ahead and configure and install the application or whatever code that you have written within the Ansible. So this is how not only your server gets provisioned, but also the application inside the server gets automatically provisioned. So this is one of the reasons why Terraform is such a great infrastructure as code tools that are available. Now, do remember that not all the infrastructure as code tools supports configuration management. Terraform is one of the tools that it does natively. So once the configuration of the application is completed, then again Terraform will send back the message saying that all the things that you had defined within the Terraform configuration is completed. Great. So now the question that comes is, which infrastructure as code tool should your organization choose? Now for this, there are 4 important questions that you need to ask. First important question is your infrastructure going to be vendor specific in a longer term? So for example, is your infrastructure going to be in AWS for a longer term? So if an organization states that yes, our infrastructure is going to be in AWS for next 10 years. So in such cases, the option of choosing a different infrastructure as code tool can be of advantage. So for example, in AWS, they have a dedicated infrastructure as code tool called as AWS CloudFormation that is available. And in fact, CloudFormation is also great. Let me quickly show you some of the nice features of CloudFormation. So one of the great things that I like in CloudFormation is that you can quickly go ahead and design a sample template via the GUI. So let's quickly launch it. I'll show you. So this is basically the designer. Now, depending upon the service that you want to create, what you can do is you can just select it from the resource type and you can drag and drop it. Let me show you. So within the EC2, let's go ahead and create a new EC2 instance. So in order to do that, all you have to do is you have to drag and drop it, and automatically you see the infrastructure as code has been generated here. So this is great, because you can easily drag and drop things and automatically the code is ready for you. So this is one great feature that I really like about CloudFormation. So that is what the first point is all about. Again, it is not necessary that an organization who is completely in AWS and will be in AWS for next 10 years will be choosing CloudFormation. There are a lot of other factors that are also important. In fact, in one of the organizations that I was working with, we had more than 100 AWS accounts and we did not use CloudFormation. We were completely based on Terraform. So let's look into the second pointer here, which states that are you planning to have a multi-cloud, which is a hybrid cloud-based infrastructure. So because this is a very common pattern nowadays. So many of the organizations, they have AWS plus Azure or AWS plus Google, AWS plus DigitalOcean and so on. So are you planning to have a hybrid cloud-based architecture? Third is how well does your infrastructure as code based tool integrate with the configuration management tool? This is a very important question. And fourth is the overall price and the support of a specific tool. So depending upon that, you can choose the appropriate ISE tool. Now let me share you. Terraform works pretty well in all of these. So let's quickly look into it. First important pointer is that Terraform supports multiple platforms. It has hundreds of providers. So if you are in AWS, if you are in Azure, if you are in Google Cloud, if you are in DigitalOcean, Terraform supports all of them. And this is the great advantage of Terraform over CloudFormation. So CloudFormation is a specific tool for AWS. Terraform works on multiple platforms. So it is not tied to a single platform. Now, in fact, let me quickly show you this from the documentation. So if you look into the support that Terraform provides, so they have multiple providers. So you have AWS support, you have Alibaba Cloud, you have Akamai, you have Google Cloud Platform, you even have tools like PagerDuty, Grafana, and if you go a bit down, you have support for Kubernetes, you have support for SignalFX and so on. So not only Terraform supports the cloud provider like AWS, but it also supports other tools like Kubernetes, Grafana, you have Helm and others. Alright, so I hope you understood the first point, and primarily because of the first point, it really makes a Terraform an amazing tool to work with. Second important benefit of Terraform is its simple configuration language and faster learning curve. It is much more easier to learn Terraform than other language. Now, I'll share you an example. So we had few interns who were in our organization, and within just 2 weeks, they learned Terraform from scratch and they started writing good Terraform code for deploying the infrastructure. So it is quite simple and you'll really love it in the longer terms. Third benefit is its easy integration with the configuration management tools like Ansible. Fourth is that it is easily extensible with the help of plugins. So you can go ahead and create your own plugins if there are certain things that you see that are not supported, or if there are certain things that you want to develop specific for your organization. And fifth is it is completely free. So you can go ahead and try it out right away. So that's the high level overview about today's video. I hope this video has been informative for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hey everyone, and thanks for subscribing to the HashiCorp Certified Terraform Associate certification based video course. I am Zeel and I'm going to be an instructor throughout the course. Now, before we proceed, I would like to share my own personal journey on how I came across Terraform and why I started to love it in the first glance. So let's get started. Now, Terraform is one of the great tools that I have been working since a long time. Now, my own personal journey started with implementing the AWS Hardening Guidelines. So generally, while I work as a consultant for multiple organizations, one of the primary responsibility that comes as far as the security is concerned is to implement the AWS Hardening Guidelines. And if you would observe the AWS Hardening Guidelines, there were more than 100 pages of guidelines, and initially things used to go manually and it used to take around 2 to 3 days to implement the entire hardening in one AWS account. Now, before we proceed further, let me in fact show you one of the hardening guidelines for security in AWS. So this is one of the benchmark for hardening in AWS. So if you would observe over here, these are all the rules that you will have to implement. And if you look into the amount of pages, close to around 150. And if you go down, you will see each of the hardening in detail associated with the description and the things that needs to be done. Now, if you try to implement this manually, initially it might be little difficult, but At a later stage, things might be a little easy because first what you have to do is you have to go ahead and read things in detail, see what are the steps that it is trying to perform, and then do the steps manually in each AWS account. So initially things seems to be good primarily because accounts were little less, but one of the new clients that I had, that new client had more than 35 AWS accounts, and implementing multiple hardening guidelines across these accounts were really hard. So that was the time when I decided to stop things manually and look out for an infrastructure as code tool. And that is when I arrived at Terraform. I experimented it and I started to love it. So from that day onward, I converted all the hardening guidelines to a Terraform code. So if you would look into this Terraform code, all of these are part of the CIS benchmark, and there are various other custom benchmarks that I have used for the implementation of security in AWS. So once I converted the hardening guidelines to a Terraform code, it just took around 30 minutes to implement it in AWS. And that too, all I had to do is I have to run one command, and for the next 30 minutes, it used to do everything automatically. So primarily after working in Terraform since a long time and looking into how amazing this tool is, I decided to launch a dedicated course for this. Now, because of the popularity of the Terraform in today's organization, HashiCorp has officially also released the Terraform Associate certification. So one important part to remember is that this is a certification specific course with primary intention to cover all the topics that are part of the HashiCorp certified Terraform Associate certification. Now let me quickly show you the official page of the certification. So this is the HashiCorp certified Terraform Associate, and these are the basic prerequisites. So it's just basic terminal skills and the basic understanding of on-premise and cloud architecture. So even if you are aware about a single cloud provider like AWS, that is more than enough. Now this Terraform certification is for the version 0.12 and higher. Now we'll be discussing in detail about the exams and what exactly it contains in the exam preparation section, but let's look into the exam objective at a high level overview. So within the exam objective, there are multiple high level categories over here. So you have understanding infrastructure as a code, then you have understanding Terraform's purpose and so on. So in total, as of now, there are 9 categories based on which the topics are divided into the certification blueprint. Now, one important point to note here is that the arrangement of topics that are part of this course are little different from the exam blueprint to make sure that the course remains beginner friendly. So just to understand that in detail, it means that we are not following the exact chronology based on which the topics are defined. So it's like 3A, 3B, 3C. So we do not follow everything sequentially, although we have all the topics covered, but I have arranged it systematically so that anyone who is new to Terraform will be able to learn it in the best and the most easiest way. So discussing about the things that we cover in this course, so we begin our journey from absolute scratch of Terraform, and then we move ahead with the advanced topics. So these are the sections that we have as part of the course, and you will have to go through each one of them, preferably in a sequential way, so that you do not really miss any important topic. Now, one of the most favorite section of the entire course is this exam preparation section, where we go ahead and discuss in detail about what exactly this exam is all about, and we also look into some of the important topics that are part of the official exams. Now, apart from that, we also have a GitHub repository of Terraform Beginner to Advanced. So this GitHub repository contains all the codes associated with the practicals that we'll be doing throughout the course, so that you can go ahead and try it out within your workstation also. So the things are arranged section wise. So first section is deploying infrastructure with Terraform. So if you open one of these, you will see the associated videos, and if you need to find the code associated with this specific video name, all you have to do is you have to click here, and you will get the important notes, and you will get all the codes and commands that we enter in that specific video. So I'll be posting the link associated with the GitHub page after this video so that you can go ahead and reference it. Now, before we conclude, let me introduce myself. So, I primarily work as a DevSecOps engineer into the defensive security. Now, teaching has been one of my passions since a long time, and even before recording the video courses, I used to go to a lot of universities in India, and we used to take workshops about various topics including Linux, cloud security, and so on. So as of now, in online perspective, I have total of more than 12 courses and more than 100,000 students here. Now in terms of certifications, the most important one, I am certified against the HashiCorp Certified Terraform Associate 1. And apart from that, I also hold a lot of certifications ranging from AWS, CEH, Red Hat, VMware, Docker, Kubernetes, and so on. So that's the high level overview about what this course is all about. I hope this video has been informative for you, and I look forward to see you in the next video.